Okay, moving on to item 14, Superintendent's report. Turn time over to Superintendent Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You indulged me last month with extra time so I could take you on a visual tour. Today I'll just give you a minimal report, but about a couple of important items. So one of the things we've been talking about at audit is the risk mitigation list, and it is continues to grow. And we talk about a lot of the risks, but we don't always mitigate the list itself. There seems to be a lot of things on there that we need to clean up and be able to really target as a staff and also report back to you as a board how we're really taking action on some of our internal risks. So the recommendation was made that we get together as your leadership staff and really cull down that list and then report back to you how we're really acting on that list, as well as making it an actionable item in both our superintendency meetings and leadership council. So we're going to be much more intentional about it so that when you see that very long list, your eyes don't glaze over, but you feel like we're really targeting some of those items and working on it. Also, one of the things we've been hearing from the field is the challenge that some of our business administrators and superintendents have with, given all of the, and this is true for charters as well, and specifically for our rural districts and for our charters, that we ask for a lot of reports. We might be out there monitoring and we might be auditing, and it's all on top of each other. And so we're going to try and do a better job internally of creating this calendar where all of those reporting functions that are annual reports and our monitoring functions are all laid out. I know when I was a principal, one of the greatest gifts I was given came from one of Member Belknap's mentors in Maynard Whitehead. And I remember, not Whitehead, Whitesides. And he came to me as a fellow principal and said, nobody's going to give this to you, but I'm just telling you, here's a calendar that I've created that tells you when things are due. And that was one of the most helpful things I ever had as a principal. So I think we need to extend that same thing to our superintendents, our BAs, those in the field who are called on to do this work, so that when a charter director or a superintendent of a small district says, you've given me 6 things that only I'm in charge of, and which of those do I turn in when? So we want to just be better stewards over all of these reports by creating a calendar, putting that out there into the field. So as we get that done, we'll bring that to you so that you can see that, and then it will become a sort of a yearly task that we try to get out by August 1st so that everyone is aware, and then we can use that both internally and externally if we need to add something to it or take something away. And then last but not least, based on today's conversation about some technology that might be helpful in board meeting, just an update that in the overflow space, now that we've got our carry forward funds figured out in terms of what funding we have exactly, and you've already approved money for that room to become a more collaborative space and one that can accommodate overflow in board meetings, so that you'll start to see a big screen go up and a wall, a glass board on a wall and some furniture, and that's something you've already approved. I don't know if we need a motion. I doubt it. I think I can probably just act on this, Chair, unless you want to direct differently, that to those bids will add what Member Stokes asked for, and that would be looking at some kind of digital system that might help with voting and microphones. Anyway, we'll just bring that to you as part of that overall bid, and then you can determine what you want to do with it. Is that all right?
And that's on my report also to come back with. Okay, great. With the communication.
Okay, so that's my report.
Voting communication stuff.
Thank you.
Any questions?